how terrible floods are. Take a look and don't blink. The house completely collapsed within minutes of being washed away by the flood. If you move your house, it will be swept away by the water, and the cars on the road will be like bathroom toys. Drifting with the tide, the whole city turned into a vast ocean. Floods are one of the most common natural disasters in the world. When the flood comes, huge currents can flood everything in an instant, and city streets can turn into raging rivers. Buildings easily collapse under the impact of water. In the face of such natural disasters, human power seems so weak today. Lau Wang looks at the world and compiled the biggest flood disaster recorded by the camera in recent years. Remember to like and subscribe to my channel. Take you to explore more unknown and magical worlds. The 10th Carson County flood is in People's Impressions. Nevada has Las Vegas, Reno, and Carson City, but those three places aren't the only places to live in Nevada. In July 2014, the Carson County Political Library experienced an extreme weather event. It rained heavily within half an hour. A resident recorded this rare heavy rain in time with his mobile phone. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary at first until something in the background started moving. It looked like a giant snake crawling across the desert. It crossed the desert and blocked the road, and then an even crazier flood came rushing in with silt, sand, and heavy soil, sweeping directly into the streets. Houses and pedestrians on the road cannot avoid it. Vehicles on the road are directly washed away. People can't tell which is the road and which is the river. No one knows where it will be washed away if unfortunately it is swept away. The amount of rainfall in this heavy rain far exceeded the level of a normal storm for several days. In just 1 hour, the amount of rainfall reached 25.4 millimeters. Normally, if the rain does not fall very fast, then the ground will have enough time to absorb the rainwater, or the drainage system can cope with it. But this time the heavy rain fell clearly within half an hour, making it impossible for the ground to absorb it. The drainage system was also directly paralyzed. Wherever the flood reached, it was a mess. After the flood, the mud river 9 centimeters behind was almost submerged to the ankles. Walking became very difficult. This disaster had a huge impact on their lives. The ninth storm in Huntsy. August 7, 2023, Muwei Meteorological Institute issued a red danger warning. Storm and Huntsy are coming. This means that parts of southern Mu extreme rainfall expected. Worst storms in 25 years. During heavy rains, the dam in southern Mu bursts, triggered landslides and worse flooding. Strong floods sweep away houses. These buildings weren't supposed to float at this moment. I was carried away by the ruthless current. This flood occurred in early August, but not without warning, because monthly rainfall in July was 300% higher than the historical average. Heavy rainfall for 10 consecutive days flooded many towns. Houses were swept away and cars caused widespread damage. This extreme weather, the entire southern region was shrouded in fear. Looking from a distance, we can only see the flooding floods and rolling mudslides. Fortunately, residents of home are evacuated in an emergency manner ahead of the floods, leaving behind empty houses and rising water levels on the streets after the storm. The originally peaceful town turned into ruins, and debris from the flood could be seen everywhere. Destroyed houses, mother trees in Qingdao, and mud on the ground all made people feel the huge power and ruthlessness of natural disasters. The 8th Bursat flood, mid-August 2021. Bursat, a small town in Turkey, experienced the worst flash floods in years. This small town near the Black Sea had about 530 inhabitants. That summer, Italy and Russia hit by heatwave floods worse than ever in history, and Germany combined with impact of global pandemic. This flood undoubtedly became the last straw for people in 48 hours. More than 400 millimeters of rain fell in some places. Rainfall in other places also reached more than 100 millimeters per hour. Bossard is located in the lower reaches of the Coulter Mountains. The stream flows through logging areas south of town. It quickly became clogged, causing the water to surge out. Video from the storm showed the town was hit hard. There are some more low-dig places. The water level rose by nearly 4 meters. The accumulated water washed away the car. Those who live on the first floor or run shops will suffer even greater losses. According to Mayor Bossard, the town was devastated beyond description. This disaster caused nearly 300 villages to lose power, damaged road construction, and damaged countless cars. These pictures spreading through the surviving roads shows the destructive power of floods as residents of the town struggle to survive the floods. Rescue workers struggled to rescue people in the mud. All this is deeply imprinted in people's memory. This disaster is not only a test of the natural environment. It is also a testimony to the unity and courage of mankind in the face of emergencies. The 7th Little Falls flood. Little Falls is a rural town in northern New Jersey with a population of over 130,000. This town is named after a small waterfall owned by monk Picus. Usually locals like to enjoy the beautiful scenery by the river, but in August 2018, a merciless rainstorm forced them to rush to high ground for refuge. The heavy rain for several days and nights left you without an appointment. Roads in New Jersey and Pennsylvania were quickly flooded. The entire city is in a vast ocean. The once peaceful streets have turned into rapids. The drainage system has been paralyzed and the water level has risen sharply. Many drivers were trapped in their cars and could not move. Panic and helplessness enveloped everyone in the forest town of Caldwell, New Jersey. The following garage owner at a car dealership had a more serious situation. He looked helplessly at the vehicles in his shop. Drifting away in the swollen flood water like a helpless riverboat, onlookers were filled with emotion when they saw it. Because these vehicles were all luxury cars, one by one they were washed away by the flood and piled up on the bridge. The scene was like a huge car waste. The car body was covered with mud and sand, and the car windows were broken. It seemed like it had experienced a fierce battle. This scene spread through the media, attracting a lot of attention. People were shocked by the huge destructive power of the flood and the unforeseen consequences of the disaster. The flood not only destroyed a large number of properties, it also makes people aware of the irresistibility of natural disasters and the fragility of life. The sixth flood of God's land. Himalayan state. The northernmost state of India, nestled between the majestic western Malayan mountains and home to nearly 7 million hardworking residents. This state is also known as Datyabhumi. Bhumi. It means the place of God. This name reflects people's awe and expectation for the protection of gods. In the summer of 2021, this land of gods has endured a ruthless year of nature. That year, heavy rains caused unprecedented flooding. The torrents swept through, destroying everything in its path. There were many shocking scenes. Recording the horrific power of this disaster, floods are unstoppable, sweeping through cities and villages. Cars tumbled in the accumulated water, and buildings that once served as bulwarks instantly turned into valleys. Onlookers could only stand helplessly on the bridge to record the moment. From the video you can see the power of flash floods mercilessly washing away buildings and homes. Although people hid in the highest places, the frightening scene was truly unforgettable. I think at that moment, people should be praying, hoping that the losses caused by this catastrophe can be minimized.